Ladies and gentlemen, I would like now to introduce my very good friend, Fiona Wu. Fiona Wu is 13 years old and is going in 8th grade in Sharon Middle School. In her free time, she likes to dance and play piano. Fiona has actually just finished up her dance competition at the Angels Dance Company. So please welcome Fiona Wu, my very good friend.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Nidhi, for her great speech about Sharon. I never knew such a small town could have so much history. Now, I am Fiona Wu, as Nidhi introduced. And now, before I get started, can everyone hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Today, I'm going to be talking about stereotypes against Asian. And as you can see, I am Asian. When I talk about my topic, I'm going to split it into 3 different parts. First is some typical examples of stereotypes against Asians. Second is why does this happen? And lastly, third is how can we avoid it? Of course, you guys don't have to agree on this, but this is just something I want to put out there. Some typical stereotypes against Asians are pretty well known. Some more true than others. You guys have probably heard of, oh my gosh, you're Asian. You must be like a math genius, right?
Yes.
Not only that, did you get all A's at school? Usually, but that's because we put a lot of work and effort into it. I actually know a couple people who are Asian and not that good at math. But I don't get why we take this as offended, because this is a compliment, being smart. Now, on the other hand, when someone says Asian, they automatically assume that you're talking about Chinese, but no, it could be Indian, Korean, Japanese, and etc. And since they say that Asians aren't good at English, that's sometimes true because English is their second language. Now, if it was their first language, they'd be talking like me. And I'm better than non-Asian speakers. Yay! Now, since the sports, they think Asian can't play sports. But that's not correct, because tell that to Jeremy Lin or Manny Pacquiao, the boxer, and all the other Asian athletes. Since that so many people have been stereotyped, they don't always understand why everyone's doing it, which leads me on to my next point. Why do we stereotype people? Does anyone in the audience know why? No? Well, I'll tell you. All people have probably been stereotyped. Males, females, if they're elderly, young, and all different races. Of course, us weird human creatures think so uniquely, and some are nicer than others. Did you know people think that Asians are stealing other people's jobs? Well, it's just because they put a lot of dedication into it. Many people think that and they think rumors, but where do they learn it from? There are many people they learn from their parents, their peers, teachers, and the media. 21st century, as you know, and all the social media. Since everybody's talking about this, many people learn it from such a young age, and they don't know. However, people think that people want to, like to, and need to categorize the world, both the mental and physical world, into small, preferably neat little groups. Others just think it's efficient and makes them feel superior like that. But since so many people have been stereotyped, they don't always understand how other people feel. So sometimes it can be hurtful, and they don't always know how they feel. But whenever they don't feel good about it, they can always talk to someone. Which leads me on to my next topic. How can we avoid it? Of course, avoiding doesn't mean like running away from your problems or like hiding behind your parents from this. If you don't want to take it so seriously, you can just laugh it off, pretend it's a joke, and then you won't take it that seriously. However, if it's more hurtful, you can always talk to someone. You'll always have your parents to talk to or whoever you trust. And did you know that for Asian students to get to college, their scores have to be higher than other people, which is kind of unfair. Even when you're young, the society has taught you all jokes. Since people I remember in 1st grade, there was a joke, my mommy's Chinese, my daddy's Japanese, and I am this. Of course, the kids would just giggle after, because they thought it was funny. However, they don't even know what's actually going on, since they're so young and everybody's just going around. which makes them get into a habit. And so many people get stereotyped. Many of times, the people who stereotype you have been stereotyped themselves, and they don't notice that they're bullying you in a way. Like, how many people here would think that I did karate or martial arts? See? You guys are stereotyping me without knowing. I actually do, but would you think it's because it's for fun or Bruce Lee's my cousin? And since everybody has been stereotyped, they don't always understand why. So they always think that they're the only people, but you always have to remember there are other people out there who have probably been stereotyped too, and know how you feel. So there's even a group in Sharon that has a bunch of students come together, and they can talk about it. And there's probably many other programs around the country that also have this, that makes everyone feel better. Of course, you have all your friends and people that you can talk to too, but it's always great to have another group and people. So today I talked about stereotypes against Asians. I split my topic into 3 different parts. First was some typical examples. Second was why does this happen? And lastly, third is how can we avoid it? And this taught me how whenever you judge someone, you have to think before you judge their prejudice with your own things. Because sometimes, like as you can see, you stereotype people without them knowing. And thank you guys for listening.